This is day 21. Hope you guys are doing great. We are on the next unit, which is all about space. I'm not talking about outer space. Okay, we're going to be talking about perspective and different tricks of the trade that artists can use to create that illusion. So what are we going to be doing? You know, to look up here at the board. Our question is, in what ways can an artist create the illusion of space in artwork? Why are we doing that? So that we can apply those concepts to original works of art to create the illusion of depth on a very flat surface. And these are our vocabulary words for the week. There are a few more I didn't put up there. Some of these you're already going to know. Some you're going to need to look up. Some we've already gone over. So we're building on our last unit of value. You're going to need that skill to work on this week's project. Okay? You're going to need to log on and go to our eClass page, the regular page, and look at the preview page and read through all of this. It's going to give you some vocabulary words as well. So make sure you complete the preview page for the unit on space. We divided into groups on day 21, and each group took a page from the notes, and each person in the group reported a key fact or key facts that they thought were important about their page. So this is page 1. The next group took page 2. Talked about the key points such as linear perspective, overlapping. This was group 3. Talked about the middle ground, foreground, background. And then the last 2 pages we all looked at, and these were different artwork examples with changing of the size, proportion, hue and value, and so forth. Okay, you'll need to get one of those handouts and read that yourself when you return. We looked at some great artwork by some former students showing perspective. We talked about why this is successful, as well as this one. Okay. We looked at this poster and we went over the atmospheric perspective and how things off in the distance are often very light grayish, purplish, bluish color. For instance, the mountains that they show you in this video, the ones way, way off in the distance, and how that is aerial perspective and how you can see things from far away. They're not representing the true colors that are there or even the details. And that as you get closer towards the bottom of your picture plane, these things become very detailed, color is more accurate, and so forth. Overlapping, that all of these people could all be 6 feet tall, but the ones that are very, very small in the background are cut out smaller so that they appear that they are in the background. If they all walked forward, they might all be the exact same size. And we talked again about overlapping. This is from our last unit, our still life, where we did the value. Okay. And then we talked about a very famous piece of artwork, the Mona Lisa, as well as another piece of artwork by Leonardo da Vinci. And I asked the students which one was done first. Okay, most of them guessed the Mona Lisa, but in fact it was this one called Lady with Ermine. If I can get the glare off for you. Okay, and we talked about the fact that there's no background here. This was done about 1490. Okay, I don't know if I can get the glare off, but you can kind of see that. And then of course you all know what Mona Lisa looks like, and this was revolutionary because one of the reasons is because in 1503 Da Vinci put in this background which definitely shows depth, okay, unlike the other one where it's just a plain color background. Okay. Then we compared this picture by Grant Wood of the American Gothic fame, the 2 people standing in front of the Gothic building in the background. And this is called Stone City, Iowa. It was done in 1930. And we located all the different tricks or illusions that a two-dimensional painter employed to create a sense of depth. So we talked about things in the foreground are lower on the picture plane, things off in the background are smaller, that they're lighter in terms of shading and so forth. Then we went to this beautiful painting by Thomas Cole called An Architect's Dream. We located the foreground, middle ground, and background. People noticed that in the background there was a pyramid. And we talked about a lot of the details in that picture as well. Okay, then we went over positive and negative space. I'm just going to zoom in on this so that you have a chance to read that. Positive space, of course, is similar to positive shape, which we've already gone over. It's the actual sculpture or building. As negative space is the space around the sculpture or building. Picture plane is the flat surface of your drawing paper or your canvas. Composition, we already know that term, is the organization, placement of the elements on your picture plane. Focal point is the area where you want the viewer to look first. Okay. See, then you're back here on E-class. And we talked about School of Athens, very famous painting by Michelangelo. We located where the focal point was and where the vanishing point was. So you'll need to read this whole page on the acquire part of the unit on space. It's a cool video. You don't have to watch that. Let's see. There are terms again. Watched a little bit of this one just to get the hang of it. Some people identified that yes, they already knew how to draw a cube in perspective. We talked about the vanishing point on the horizon line. And now I'm on the summarize page. We'll be coming back to this first lesson on watercolor painting. It's really, I love to teach that. We'll do that separately. Let's see, scroll all the way down. Here we go. All right, so you're going to go onto your Pinterest page. And we talked about these pictures, how juxtaposition was used. Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. The word space is actually written with some perspective. And I hope you'll be here tomorrow. We're going to watch the 2 videos on Salvador Dali and discuss those, and that will really help you with the project that's coming up. All right, so this is our unit on Pinterest page. Okay, we looked at a couple of these pictures. And let's see if I can get to it. This one. Most people had drawn something similar to this in middle school. We'll go over some terminology tomorrow. There are lots of videos there. We looked at this particular picture because what I really wanted them to see, or to be able to identify, there we go, is what illusion that we mentioned in class is not being applied at this particular picture. It's not that it's wrong, it's that they don't see it in here. And most people got that correct, that the hue and value illusion is not being used because this is a pencil sketch and is not employing that. There were a couple others too that you might want to look at. Okay, and then they were given a plain piece of white computer paper, and we practiced by drawing an X in the middle of our white paper. Okay, we did our vanishing point right here in the middle, and the bottom half, or bottom triangle, we created a checkerboard floor, and they knew to make the lines get smaller and smaller, or more narrow and narrower, as they go towards the vanishing point. Okay, And then their lines that are coming towards the angular lines, are always from the vanishing point going out. And then every other one, they colored in very dark on this bottom row, like a checkerboard. And then the next row up, okay, they colored every other one just a little bit lighter value. Again, that's where you need to know last week's value scale. And again, lighter, lighter, lighter. Every row, they got their pencil not as dark by just taking the pressure off of it. And so by the time they were up here, it was very easy to do because it's just a little bit of light shading. And then the very last thing we did was we took a piece of large 12 by 18 drawing paper, and we drew an X corner to corner on that. And then we reviewed examples of artwork which exemplify different perspective techniques, whether it's linear perspective or aerial perspective, atmospheric perspective. And we located vanishing points, horizon lines, identified some overlapping and how that makes things look as if they have depth, the size, the proportion, the shading, positive and negative, and wrapped it up so that tomorrow we're ready to start our project and see our videos on surrealism. So hope to see you tomorrow. Bye now.